here we are going to discuss something about the current ratio, the sums which are based on increase, decrease or no change. Let us take an example over here. If the current ratio is 2.2:1, state giving reasons which of the following transactions would improve, reduce or not alter the current ratio. The ratio given to us is 2.2:1. So here I have assumed current liabilities as 10,000 and so current assets will be 22,000. The first example of the same is sale of goods at profit. I have just assumed the values over here. Goods of 10,000 has been sold for rupees 12,000. The entry for the same is cash account debited to sales account, 12,000 each. We can see that cash increases by rupees 12,000 and because of sale, stock decreases by 10,000. Cash and stock both are current assets. So basically, current asset increases by rupees 2,000. None of these two items affect the current liability, so no change in current liability. Now because there is an increase of 2,000 in current assets, right, the numerator increases and you can see the ratio now that comes to 2.4:1 and therefore the ratio increases. Second, bills receivable drawn. When bills are drawn, the entry that we usually pass is bills receivable account debited to debtors account. The amount I have taken over here is 5,000. So we can see that because the bills are drawn, bills receivable increases by 5,000. On the other hand, debtors decreases by rupees 5,000. Now we know that bills receivable and debtors both are current assets. So one asset increases, another asset decreases. So basically there is no change in current assets. But current liabilities also no change. The reason is bills receivable and debtors, none of these two items affect the current liabilities. So when there is no change in current asset or current liability, the ratio will also not change. Next. Sale of short-term investments at a loss. I have taken the values over here. Short-term investments of 10,000 has been sold for 8,000. The entry passed is cash account debited 8,000, profit and loss account debited for the loss rupees 2,000 and to short-term investments will be credited rupees 10,000. Now cash over here is a current asset that increases by 8,000. Short-term investment is also a current asset and that decreases by rupees 10,000. So current asset basically decreases by 2,000. And none of these items, cash, P&L or short-term investments affects the current liability. So there will be no change in current liability. So now we know that current asset basically decreases by 2,000, numerator decreases. Now because numerator decreases, the ratio decreases. Next, purchase of asset on credit. The asset assumed over here is a fixed asset. So the entry is asset account debited to creditors. And yes, the credit period also assumed as short term. So that's why I have used creditors over here for short term. Now when fixed asset is purchased, so yes, we know like fixed assets increases by rupees 5,000. Creditors also increases by rupees 5,000. But over here we are discussing about the current assets and the current liabilities. Purchase of fixed assets will no way affect the current asset. So there is no change in current asset. But current liability increases by 5,000. So you can see the values over here. current liabilities and current assets. Current assets remains as it is 22,000, but current liability increases by 5, so that's 15,000, and so the ratio will be 1.46 ratio 1. So basically the ratio decreases because of this particular transaction. Next transaction is bills payable accepted. Now when we accept a bill payable, the entry for that is creditors account debited to bills payable. Amount assumed over here is again 5,000. When the bills are accepted, our liability towards that bills increases and the liability towards creditors decreases. Now because these two items, creditors and bills payable, are the current liabilities, one liability increases, other liability decreases, there will be no change in the current liability. And we can also see that both the amounts are current liabilities, so there will be no change in the current assets as well. So the ratio will not change. Next, bills receivable endorsed to creditors rupees 5,000. Okay, we are endorsing a bill to a creditor. So creditors are the receivers, so they are debited, and bills receivable is an asset that goes out to credit. So creditors account debited to bills receivable account is a simple journal entry. Now when we are handing over or when we are endorsing the bills, so bills decreases, bill receivable decreases by 5,000, and we are endorsing it to creditors. That is one way of making a payment to a creditor. So creditor decreases by rupees 5,000. Bills receivable being a current asset, that decreases by 5. Creditor being a current liability, that also decreases by 5. So we can see that the current asset and the current liability both decreases by 5,000. If I just place the values over here, so that comes to 17,000 to be divided by 5,000 now, and that comes to 3.4 ratio 1, and therefore the ratio increases. Next, loan paid rupees 5,000. All these are the assumed values taken. When we are repaying the loan, yes, that loan account debited to cash account is the entry, and the amount is rupees 5,000. We have paid, so cash decreases by 5. Loan, whether it's a short-term loan or a long-term loan, whenever we are making a repayment of that, in that case, our current liability decreases by 5,000. Cash being a current asset decreases by 5. Loan being a current liability decreases by 5. Right? Both current assets and current liability decreases by 5,000. So if I just place the values in the original values assumed, so now it comes to 17 to be divided by 5, that comes to 3.4 ratio 1. So the ratio increases. Next, bills receivable dishonored. Okay, when the bills gets dishonored, at that time the entry passed is debtors account debited to bills receivable. The reason is very clear, because debtors becomes our debtors again. Right, we need to collect the amount again from the debtors for that amount, for that bill dishonored. So what is the effect? Our debtors will increase by 5 and the bills receivable will decrease by 5,000. So debtors and bills receivable both are current assets. So no change in the current asset, and as we all know, debtors and bills receivable are both current assets. So no change in current liability, and therefore the ratio will not change. Next, share capital issued. When you think of when the shares are issued, the entry passed is bank account debited to share capital. Bank balance increases by 5 and the share capital also increases by 5,000. Now bank balance is a current asset. The current asset increases by 5, but share capital is a part of shareholders fund, so there will be no change in current liability. Now because the current asset increases, because the numerator increases, we can say that the ratio increases. Next, goods sold at a profit. Again assume the values over here. Goods of 10,000 sold for rupees 12,000. Entry is very simple. Cash account debited to sales account. Cash, we know it's a current asset and that increases by 12. It's a sales. Now because of sale the stock decreases and the stock decreases by 10,000. Stock is also a current asset. We can see that cash increases by 12, stock decreases by 10. So ultimately current asset increases by 2,000. And both of these items, cash and stock, are current asset. So basically there is no change in current liabilities. We can see that there is an increase of 2,000 in the current asset. So the numerator increases, and because the numerator increases, the ratio also increases.